Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. This is a regular meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Here.
Richard Valley,
Here.
Doug Verboon, Rusty Robinson,
Here.
Richard Fagundes.
Here.
Okay, 5 members of present. We're ready to conduct business today. Would you all please rise for Father Caesar Solaro, St. Bridget's Catholic Church. Morning, Father. Father.
I know that. Yeah.
Let us begin in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father, almighty and eternal, the mirror and the backstairs and God, we trust and indeed we do. We put our cares into your hands. We thank you for this day. We grant you for this opportunity. Thank you for this opportunity. We ask you to grant us, Lord, that we may always seek the ways of righteousness, of justice and mercy. We pray for wisdom and guidance in their decisions and deliberation, that they may govern with humility, with genuine concern for the well-being of our citizens. We bless all the members here, bless their families, their loved ones. In your goodness, grant this, that this meeting may be conducted in your name. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Chief Forrest, lead us in the flag salute, please. Okay, so at this time, we'll go ahead and thank you, Father. Bless us again, so we need all the help we can get. Especially now, we got to fill appearances. So, Madam Clerk, do we have anybody online or any comment cards that would like to speak first?
I have no written correspondence, but the first speaker is Chief Flores.
Morning, Chief. I asked you to speak this morning, do the flag this morning. Your weekend's going to be busy with the 4th of July and all the heat and everything. So we
Absolutely.
need all the help we can get.
Honorable Board, CEO Martinez, members of Kings County. It's exactly what I wanted to come up here and talk about. We are monitoring the heat wave. It is significant across the state. We are not alone into this. However, just due to the prolonged heat, expected heat throughout the next few days, it does pose areas of concerns. This morning, I've been in contact with both cities of Abino and Corcoran to ensure that they have what they need and we're here to support them. Our staff, since yesterday, OES has been reaching out to special districts and cities as well to ensure that, remind them that we're here to support if there's any needs arising. Under direction of the CAO this morning, we are going to start some talks within the departments to ensure that we are keeping up to date and ensuring that we have a plan in place, specifically to the areas of the cooling centers or areas to go to for the public. Just because there are some concerns about the weekend and the holidays, some of these areas that are public being closed, we need to identify what we can do and if there's anything we can do to continue to support the community and to continue to provide that message out to the community to be prepared and just to be diligent about the heat and the conditions and to be self-aware of any illnesses that might come. So that's where we're at regarding into the heat component of it. In addition to that, I wanted to update the board on our deployments. We do have a total of technically 3 deployments, but they're all pretty much within the same area. We have 2 battalion chiefs that are deployed to the basin fire that has substantially grown in the past few days. Along with our staff, we have a total of 2 engines, 1 staffing an OES rig, the state of California, in addition to 1 coming out of the Kings County and single resource out there as well for the command structure. All of this is being paid by the state of California. There is no impact into our funding component of it, but we continue to support the mission and we continue to ensure that we have what we need here for the community and for the 4th of July events coming up. Resources are plentiful so far, and we continue to monitor that component. I stand for any questions. So there's some.
Very good. Any question for the Chief? Thank you.
The next speaker, I'm not sure if it's coming as a group or if they're individual. Now, Brenson.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good, there you go.
You can't pull weeds in a dress.
I know, that's how I get out of work. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
I got a grandpa's weeder that it worked pretty good. You don't gotta bend over, you just like that, one-handed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Natalie Branson, and I am the Parks and Grounds Superintendent from the Public Works Department. I'm here today on my own authority as a representative of my department. I come before you today ahead of members of my crew to express concerns for staff salaries within the Parks Division. I know there's been much discussion and anticipation lately with the Hoffman Associates study, and I understand this is a sensitive topic. Members of my staff approached me about addressing you today at board, and I wanted to take the opportunity to support them as well as lay out some data to you before they present. Unfortunately, one of the most difficult parts of my job is watching hardworking and deserving staff of this county struggle to survive. We all know that life is dynamic, complicated, and there's no one-size-fits-all for either. Our humanity takes us on unexpected life turns, such as marriages, divorces, grief from loss, and unforeseen injuries or medical expenses. What was true yesterday may no longer be true today. My full-time staff is currently made up of 6 men. 5 of these men have found themselves now to be single fathers trying to make ends meet. Some of these circumstances are through the loss of a spouse, a divorce, or other matters. Regardless of the reason, all 5 of them are in a position where they love the work they do, but they struggle to provide for their family. I did some legwork before today's meeting and reviewed the starting salaries across the divisions of my department. I want to make a point again to say I'm not speaking on behalf of the department, the director, or any of my fellow superintendents. The data that I'm presenting was retrieved from our county website's posted job description. The county's Parks and Grounds entry-level position ranks as the 2nd lowest paid in our department. The following are round numbers of entry-level positions within public works. A janitor starts out at $34,000 annually. Grounds worker 1, $35,000. Road maintenance worker, $36,000. Apprentice mechanic, $39,000. And building maintenance worker, $43,000. Again, doing some research, I found that the median household income for Kings County is $68,000. As you know, households often have combined incomes with money being shared from a spouse, a family member, or any other person living within the home. For many individuals, this is not a reality, and eventually other financial decisions have to be made, including but not being limited to seeking other employment. Additionally, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, shares a living wage calculator. For Kings County, California, their data suggests that with 1 working adult in the household, the following income is needed to survive. With 0 children, $46,000. With 1 child, $76,000. With 2 children, $96,000, and so on. So to boil this down further, that means a single father of 1 child working in Kings County needs to make at or around $76,000 to provide a reasonably comfortable life. Currently, a single father of 1 hired on my staff will begin his career at $35,000. That is an astounding $41,000 gap between surviving and not surviving. I would also like to take a moment to say that the work done by the Parks and Grounds staff is skilled and technical. You see them here every Monday tending to the needs of our campus through routine landscape maintenance. But what you may not know is that many of them also hold specialized skills and certifications in pesticide application, Class A driver's licenses, and more. They operate heavy equipment, they install gardens and water features, they design, troubleshoot, and repair irrigation, and further, they're skilled in working with chainsaws and aerial lifts, operating equipment as high as 60 feet in the air. The work they do is laborious, and it does not end in the heat of a Central Valley summer, such as the one we are experiencing right now. If you've not yet been privy to their work and would like to see it firsthand, I would extend an open invitation to any of you to join me any day. I appreciate the concern that has been taken towards retention and attracting new employees, and simply ask that you listen and consider the concerns of the park staff before you act. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The next speaker is Anthony Atalano.
Well, Anthony. That'll be good.
Yeah, take a deep breath. You're fine. I'm in a moment for coming back up on they were 12% of the that's what it is now. It's out of the at the other employees some of the sounds I started probably down for the guy and for that two but I'm hoping that I'm sorry I feel it to be and after all look at the two what the one and there's
Thank you.
The next speaker is Eric Archuleta.
Or Archie.
Having to make the choice, not spending time with my family, just being able to give an experience with that. My margin for surviving or an inverse snowball effect is with an arm's reach every either way every single month. A little help goes a long way. Thanks for your consideration.
Well, thank you.
The next speaker is Josh, and I'm not sure how to say your last name, so I will.
You speaking of
Okay.
one of my coworkers, he had some. I'm just, this is on behalf of him. His name is Josh. Says, hello, my name is Joshua and I've been with Parks 2 years and some months now. Sorry I couldn't be here today. I'm currently having surgery, but my coworker will read on my behalf. So I wanted to address the board with talks about a raise for our department. And as you know, the Parks Division has a lot on our plates and we are also very small. We're a very small crew with a lot of responsibilities compared to other departments around the county. Not to discredit what other departments do, but we take care of a lot and deal with a lot on a daily basis. So I wanted to say, I know that we are the lowest on the list compared to other departments around the county. I know for a fact our department is overlooked and not noticed. Me and my crew are always working hard to do our best for the county, and we work hard for our job, and it is very demanding of our bodies and energy. Not only is our job physically demanding, we do a lot from irrigation to landscaping to concrete work to tree trimming. I know the city park starts out at $20 an hour and they max out at 27. They do less than us, and I've talked to a couple of the people that I know. They don't do half of what we do, and on top of that, we also deal with local gang members who are a part of gangs here in Hamilton. When I say that, I'm referring into the people who have been assigned to community service. I'm sorry. I know for a fact that I've run into some of these people and we are in charge of at stores and they remember us. So it's a big safety concern for us when we're out with our families or with our children. I look around the county and I notice everyone driving new vehicles. Then you look at our department and notice we all have older vehicles because we can barely afford to have them, to pay for them, let alone have them fixed. I can't
afford a new vehicle, and I struggle to live paycheck to paycheck. I know for myself, once I pay my bills, I'm really making life decisions on getting groceries or gas for my vehicle. I always choose gas because I have to come to work. If this job is a career, then it should be treated like a career and paid like a career. I know we lost some good guys already due to most of us having to get a second job just because we needed to get by. And we shouldn't need a second job, especially after an 8-hour day. Our department has been overlooked for too long. When we get new hires, the first thing they always say is we do too much for what we get paid, and we always end up losing those people. It constantly sets us back whenever we lose someone. I'm asking, please take in what I have said here into consideration and really analyze all we do, because our division is a great division and all the people in this division are very deserving of the raise. Parks can't be overlooked any longer. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good job.
The next speaker is Red Fidiasi.
Good morning.
Good morning. During the meeting on June 11th, Sheriff Robinson referenced a comment I had made regarding the lack of things for youth in Kings County to participate in. Sheriff Robinson said, "There's a lot to do, but you've got to get involved in stuff. And our Explorer program is running about 35 strong. They get involved in our community and participate, and that there's a lot of programs out there. I'd never heard of the Explorers, so I did a little research. According to your website, countyofkingsca.gov, Explorer Post 1199 is allotted up to 15 positions. If the positions are full, applicants may be put on the wait list for the next available opening. It's open to people from the age of 14 to 21. In Kings County, there are 10,404 high school students, 14 to 18 years old, not counting 19 to 21-year-olds that can also apply for one of the spots. While I really appreciate the existence and importance of this program, it's definitely not what I was referring to when I was talking about things to do in the county. Sheriff Robinson also spoke about other programs and volunteering. I'm no stranger to volunteer work and have volunteered in my community for many years at the Kings Art Center, at Girl Scouts, and Soup Kitchen and Valley Voices. I agree that volunteering is essential for our community, but it's also not accessible for every kid because of their own extenuating circumstances. As far as other programs, I can't find many. I looked more on the county website and I couldn't find youth-oriented programs. I found fitness and yoga classes at the Longfield Center, but it's $20 a month, and lots of my peers don't have the money for that. The City of Hanford website has a list of things to do. The Kings Art Center is free, but everything else has a fee. Parks are free, and my friends and I go to them often, but parents look at me and my friends with skepticism when they're with their toddlers. I see the importance in free youth and young adult-centered activities, and if there's some, I wish they would be more advertised, because I know a lot of my peers want to be involved in their community and have a safe space. Also, on the agenda today, Child Support Services wants you to consider to temporarily extend public service hours on Thursday, August 1st from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and open to the public on Saturday, August 3rd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in recognition of Child Support Awareness Month. I think it's a fantastic idea. I'd also like you to consider the idea of permanently extending service hours from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. one weekday a month, and to be open to the public from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. one Saturday a month, to allow people who work later hours during the week to be able to go and get the assistance they need in person. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Glenn Burkett. Glenn,
Either one can come up and talk.
Melissa Ramirez.
Good morning. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Good morning. My name is Melissa Ramirez and I live on 9533 Orchard Drive, New Orleans. Good morning and thank you for the privilege of allowing me to speak. I'm speaking on behalf of my neighbors. The issue that I'm addressing is we have some vehicles that are by homeless that have stationed themselves on our street in front of our homes. Our concerns is that as we know that the homeless, sometimes they start out nice, but then eventually issues come about. Our concerns is our safety, my concerns for the safety of my neighbors, as well as for myself. Our in and outs, they know. And this is my first time, so we're looking for help. And I had the privilege of meeting with Mr. Valley and some other individuals that are that we feel that we can come to. So we're just looking and reaching out for assistance for not just for me, but for the neighbors and for the future of our street and for others. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Sarah Hacker.
Right, Sarah.
Thank you, Board. I very much appreciate this opportunity to speak. Sarah Hacker on behalf of the Kings County District Attorney's Office. I come to you today asking this board to reconsider its position with respect to offering salaries to our members of our union. And I'm not acting on behalf of the union, but I am acting as head of the online department. At this time, we have significant shortages, and I have not been able to fill them. I have taken a lot of effort in attempting to recruit attorneys. I've obtained a listing of all retired attorneys in the area and sent out an email notifying them of the opportunities in the office. I've only received 2 responses, and neither one of them were a good fit. I've obtained services of 3 independent contractors, which the board had graciously approved the last time that we had met, and I'm attempting to recruit 1 more just to fill in the space. But these independent contractors don't go to court. They do a lot of the background work. I physically went to LA County to try and convince DDAs in LA County working under George Gaston to come to Kings County and actually prosecute criminals. I've reached out to San Joaquin College of Law and requested that they post job boards and sign up to receive resumes from their alumni. I spoke with Joyce at the Career Center, and she said that the job market was so tight here in the Central Valley. I contacted Deputy AG or Attorney General Mike Farrell. He says that the AG's office is attempting to recruit for their own positions, and they offer fully remote work. Unfortunately, and their work is paid at a higher rate than us, and they were unable to recruit a single candidate for their position. I've had my secretary, Alex, contact the classifieds for the Fresno Bee, and we received some direction on how to recruit, but these recruitment efforts run in contrast with our county policy on recruitment. So we weren't able to get a single candidate from our Fresno Bee ads. I've spent thousands of dollars on digital ads on LinkedIn and pop-up ads, and I haven't been able to attract a single recruit through those measures. The county hired Trepepi Smith to recruit attorneys. They had so much difficulty, they needed to hire a specialist, Kathy Thompson, for our attorney recruitment. Trepepi ultimately made no headway, and Ryder told me in an email, quote, "Despite our best efforts, we have encountered a challenge in garnering interest," unquote. He followed up with an email saying, quote, "It's not in our nature to give up on a client or effort, but we also like to be real with them to ensure honesty in our process and not to yield false hope," unquote. Kathy, the person that they hired, told us, quote, "Although this doesn't seem to be a surprise to you, it does seem pretty clear that the compensation level is going to remain an issue in recruitment," unquote. Even when our county hires professionals to conduct recruitment, we cannot recruit attorneys to our office at the compensation levels that the county is offering. We've had to terminate those recruiter efforts for failure to yield any results. And although the county did hire the salary survey, which said that we are in the median, although we're kind of towards the bottom of the median, the salary survey does not acknowledge that a lot of other counties are fudging their personnel roles by hiring people or promoting people outside of the personnel roles. And I know this for sure. Tim Ward, the district attorney of Kings County or Larry County, just posted that he's going to hire his seniors at $161,000 per year, while our seniors top out at $148,000 per year. And while I recently heard everybody from public works, and I understand where they're coming from. There's not very many attorneys out there, and we have to be competitive. At this point in time, if my attorneys end up dropping to any further critical levels that we're already at, then I'm going to have to consider not filing certain charges. That means that we have to make a decision. Are we not going to protect property rights here? Are we going to allow people to drink and drive without causing accidents? I've also been approached by the sheriff for a new project. And initially I agreed to undertake this project. But if we lose any further attorneys, then I'm not going to be able to undergo. Even the county's own negotiator had poached right out of my office. We had hired somebody as a law clerk, spent months mentoring this person, spending time with them, training them, mentoring them, teaching them. And 6 months after he passes the bar, he goes to get hired by LCW for $30,000 more per year, plus opportunities to earn bonuses. And I understand that the county has limited resources and we're never going to be offering the same rates as a private firm. But we have to put our law enforcement at the priority because the county's sheriff's department, detentions department, fire department can do the best investigations they can possibly do. But all of those cases go through my office. And if we don't have attorneys to manage those cases, they're not going to be properly handled. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all the speaker cards that I have. It doesn't appear that anyone online has their hands raised.
Yes,
Hot off the presses.
good morning.
Sorry for that. I won't take too much of the board's time. I just wanted to send out two acknowledgements. Number one, to this board of supervisors for supporting the fire department. We had a wonderful graduation last Friday. And the spirit of it was a very, very cool event. We had board of supervisors there for support. And I just wanted to say how much I appreciated that. And to all of you, how much support we gave the fire department. Thank you very much for that. And secondly, I'd also like to acknowledge our union, who was critical, instrumental in making that thing happen. They supported that in ways I can't even go into. And so our line personnel were just on the spot for that thing. And it was just a great event. It was a great day for our department. And I just wanted to acknowledge those.
Well, thank you.
That's some great cookies.
That's why I went. We're back there about the cookies.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, anybody else in the audience like to say anything? Pleasure Valley.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman, before we move on. I just want to thank and welcome the folks from Home Garden that showed up this morning, and appreciate you guys coming. They said it's their first time coming to a board meeting, and they were coming here and looking for some help. But I was glad to run into them in the parking lot. We were able to speak me very quickly, and I want to thank Mr. Nate Ferrier and Chuck Kenny for coming over right on the spur of the moment and helping us to get a lot of legwork done on the issue. And I'm confident that we could be helpful with the situation. We saw some pictures, and they say that people are pulling up on private property and just setting up a place to live. There's pictures of like an old Winnebago with not even any tires on it. So this is a structure that was towed in the middle of the night, put on blocks, and people living there. And just I know like it's been said, it's hard times right now for everyone, but that just can't be right. No matter what community it is, whether it's the wealthiest community in Kings County or the poorest community in Kings County, I just can't imagine that people could come just set up like that and make the members of the community feel unsafe for the elderly and for their children. So thank you for coming, and always keep coming. You guys are always welcome. And we'll talk later today. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thanks for coming too. I know Shepherd Drive was bad here a couple of years ago. We moved them in the 13th of Easton, they were bad. And then they moved those, so now they're back over on Orchard Drive. So we'll move them again. Okay. If there's no more comments from the public, we'll move on to approval of the minutes. Report out of closed session from the regular meeting, June 25th, 2024.
There's nothing to report. Thank you.
Item B, approval of minutes from the regular meeting for June 25th, 2024. Moved by Supervisor Robinson, second by Supervisor Fagundes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes. Okay, 5 in favor. Move on now to consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar are enacted by one motion, unless the board member would like to pull an item separately.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Nevs, second by Supervisor Fagundes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Okay, 5 in favor. Thank you. Move on now to regular calendar and item A, Community Development Agency. And we have Yesenia. Yesenia. I hope I got one of them right.
That's fine. Good morning, Chairman and Supervisors of the Board. Yesenia Carufa, planner with the Community Development Agency, here to present Kings County Development Code Text Change number 668.18 that was introduced last Tuesday, June 25th, 2024. The Community Development Agency received an application to amend Article 6, Section 603, Table 6-1 to allow the operation of a short pour concrete system and the rental of portable cement mixers to the public in the rural commercial or CR zone district, subject to the approval of a site plan review zoning permit. This use would include the production, storage, and sale of cement materials in the CR zone district. Currently, the Kings County Development Code does not allow for the bulk production, storage, or sale of cement materials in any commercial zone district. Additional regulations to the amendment will apply. The portable cement mixers shall not exceed 3 cubic yards in concrete weight capacity, and any proposed facility would be limited to operate at a maximum noise level of 60 decibels at the property lines. The noise element within the Kings County General Plan contains a decibel chart which shows that 60 decibels is equivalent to a normal conversation speech at 5 to 10 feet. The proposed changes will remain consistent with the goals and objectives of the 2035 Kings County General Plan. Specifically, Section 3.8.3 on page LU 15 of the land use element in the 2035 Kings County General Plan states that rural commercial designation is intended primarily for application to such rural service centers of the county as Armona, Kettleman City, Stratford, Grangeville, Hardwick, and Falls Corner to permit the establishment of uses which cater primarily to the needs of rural residents. In addition, this proposed change increases economic reinvestment by directing future commercial and industrial development to existing community district areas in order to meet the daily needs of residents and provide employment opportunities near residences and transportation routes. The approval of Development Code Text Change number 668.18 is exempt from California Environmental Quality Act or CEQA review pursuant to Section 15061B3 of the CEQA guidelines. This section states that a project is exempt from CEQA if the activity is covered by the general rule that CEQA applies only to projects which have the potential for causing a significant effect on the environment. Where it can be seen with certainty that there is no possibility that the activity in question may have a significant effect on the environment, the activity is not subject to CEQA. The changes to the Development Code are technical changes concerning general policy for the implementation of the zoning regulations, and there is no possibility that these changes will have a significant effect on the environment by the act of adopting the Development Code Text Change. In addition, none of the special circumstances listed in Section 15300.2 of the CEQA guidelines apply to the act of adopting a Development Code Text Change. The Kings County Planning Commission received a staff report and conducted a public meeting on June 3rd, 2024. The Planning Commission voted and adopted Resolution number 24-04, recommending that the board adopt Development Code Text Change number 668.18 in the public interest. If approved, this Development Code Text Change will take effect 30 days following adoption. At last week's Board of Supervisors meeting, your board requested that we investigate if it would be necessary to obtain any permits from the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District to protect the public from any health concerns. I reached out to air quality engineer George Avila with San Joaquin Valley Air and sent him the equipment specifications and local impact information for the cartway system. After he reviewed the material, it was determined that yes, in addition to a site plan review zoning permit, additional permitting from San Joaquin Valley Air would be required to operate the cartway concrete system. Part of the application process to apply for a permit from San Joaquin Valley Air requires a submission of an authority to construct/permit to operate application form. Once that form is submitted and permitting fees are paid to San Joaquin Valley Air, their team will conduct a health risk assessment to determine if there would be any carcinogenic issues associated with this operation. Staff recommendations are as follows. Find that Development Code Text Change number 668.18 is exempt from CEQA review pursuant to CEQA Guidelines Section 15061, and that Section 15300.2 does not apply. Find that number 2. Find that Development Code Text Change number 668.18 is consistent with the policies of the 2035 Kings County General Plan. And number 3, adopt ordinance number 668-1-24 approving development code text change number 668.18 and waive the second reading. That concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions if you have any.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments from the board? Nothing? Moved by Supervisor Robinson, second by Supervisor Valley. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon. Rusty Robinson. Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion of item is approved as presented. Thank you very much. We'll move on now to the next item, which will be Department of Finance, and we have Rob. Morning, Rob.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. As you may recall, I was before you last week to conduct a public hearing, introducing an ordinance establishing our booking fee rate for fiscal year 24-25. As a quick recap, the proposed calculated fee is $185 per booking, which is a $22 increase from last year's rate. The change is mainly due to increasing employee salary and benefits, as well as increased building maintenance and utility costs. Again, as I explained last meeting, we are currently not able to use this rate as current legislation prevents that. However, we must still establish it each year in case the state eliminates our annual funding. If this were to occur, we would be able to charge the cities half of this rate for bookings they bring into our jail. So with that, I ask you to consider adopting this ordinance, establishing the booking fee rate for fiscal year 24-25 and waive the reading.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Made by Supervisor Fagundes, second by Supervisor Nevs. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes. Okay, I'm in favor. Thank you very much, Rob. Human Service Agency. Monica.
Yes, good
Morning, how are
morning.
you?
Good. Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. Monica Connor, Deputy Director for the Human Services Agency. I cover the Child Welfare Division. Also with me here today is HSA Director Wendy Esicapa. The Human Services Agency, Naval Air Station Lemoore, and Commander Navy Region Southwest within the Department of the Navy seeks to establish a memorandum of understanding as it would provide the framework to establish each jurisdiction's responsibility and procedures for the prevention, identification, and treatment of child abuse and neglect in the military community. This MOU would have no fiscal. Just a little bit of background. On March 21st, 1991, NAS Lemoore and Kings County entered into an MOU establishing guidelines and procedures concerning the processing of child abuse and spousal abuse neglect cases occurring within the boundaries of NAS Lemoore. While this MOU has no cancellation date, it is outdated and has not been implemented or referenced for several years. On May 7, 2021, the State of California Health and Human Services Agency, Department of Social Services, released All County Letter number 21-53, which provides background information about the Department of Defense Family Advocacy Program and changes to the State of California Welfare Institutions Code, Section 328.1, after the passage of Senate Bill 907. WIC Section 328.1 requires the County Child Welfare Department to investigate referrals of child abuse or neglect involving an allegation against the parent or guardian of a jurisdiction that would govern investigation of allegations of child abuse or neglect against active duty service members assigned to units of those installations. The Department of Defense policy requires the Military Installation Family Advocacy Program to seek to establish an MOU with the state and local child welfare services and to collaborate on the oversight of cases involving our military families. The Family Advocacy Program is an advocacy program under the Department of Defense designated to address domestic abuse, child abuse and neglect, and problematic sexual behavior in children and youth. The Family Advocacy Program, which is under the Department of Defense, those services are available at every military installation where families are located. In our case is LNAS Lemoore. The Family Advocacy Program works collaboratively with multiple military departments and civilian agencies, including local county child welfare service agencies, to prevent abuse, encourage early identification and prompt reporting of child and family maltreatment, also to promote victim safety and empowerment, and provides appropriate treatment for affected service members and their families. The collaboration between HSA and the Navy is critical in identifying and preventing child abuse and neglect while optimizing treatment efforts for Navy families. A close working relationship between HSA and the Navy promotes a better understanding among civilian service providers of the issues affecting the lives of the Navy families in the local community. So at this time, the recommendation, we respectfully request for the board to approve the MOU with the Commander Navy Region Southwest Naval Air Station Lemoore to outline the roles and responsibilities of each jurisdiction for the prevention, identification, and treatment of child abuse and neglect in the military community, effective upon the execution through July 1st, 2033. We further request permission from the board to authorize the Human Services Agency Director to sign the agreement.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments from us? Moved by Supervisor Fagundes, second by Supervisor Robinson. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley, Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson,
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
5 in favor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item is going to be information technology. John Devlin. Come on, John.
Morning, Chairman Boone, and to your fellow board members. What we have here is the maintenance and service agreement with Communications Resources, Inc. A little overview. Kings County has had a current maintenance agreement with Communications Resources, Inc. for the service and support of the county's Avaya brand telephone system. This agreement expires on August 31st, 2024. A new agreement covering a one-year term is being proposed. The contract amount is $199,495, with the funding having been included in the fiscal year 24-25 recommended budget. County departments are billed monthly for these services via the IT rates, and those are also included in the fiscal year 24-25 recommended budget. The recommendation is to approve the agreement with Communication Resources Incorporated for maintenance service on the county's Avaya telephone system effective September 1st, 2024 through August 31st, 2025. And I'm here for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for John? We'll move by Supervisor Nev, second by Supervisor Fagundes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Okay, your phone
Thank you.
system's going to work for another year now.
There you go. Thank
Can we like screen the calls if people only call when they're happy?
you. know, if I could write that, I'd probably be able to quit, just, live
Yeah.
off the rope. But thanks for the idea.
Thank you. At this time, we'll move on now to board member announcements and reports. Supervisor Robinson, you want to go first?
Let's see, Tuesday, attended a meet and greet in the downtown with Xavier Avila. Wednesday, Housing Authority with Supervisors. Friday, it was an honor to attend the Kings County Fire Department's pinning ceremony for new firefighters, but also those that are advancing. Only one snafu with the audio. It was good comic relief. Saturday, thanks Supervisor Fagundes, we attended the Pork is Great dinner at the Fraternal Hall. It was a little warm, but the food was good. And then yesterday, met with Ali Macedo, came by, and she told me about our future plans.
Thank you. Supervisor Valley.
Yes, Mr. Chair, just real quick, last Wednesday, I want to thank folks from American Ambulance that came down to meet with myself and some folks from AVNAP. Talk about some issues around the city. And with that, lastly, happy 4th of July to everyone. Be safe, stay cool.
Thank you. Supervisor Fagundes.
Well, Supervisor Robinson stated we had housing authority on Wednesday, and also Supervisor Nelson himself has AWRA. And then the rest of the day, week, I worked on this, for help to, that's all.
Thank you. Supervisor Neves.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, the King's Waste and Recycling meeting held on the 26th. We did adopt the 2024-2025 fiscal budget that includes a 3% increase throughout the tonnage rates without any rate increases. Also, the unfunded PERS liability premium increased to $47,000 for the Classic and $674 for the EFRA, and there were no payments in last year's. So that's increases that have just occurred in the last 12 months. 3% COLA was included for staff, and the replacement of water truck and scales were also included. and some road resurfacing as well as roof repairs and pump house upgrades were also in the plan for the next fiscal year. The Housing Authority has been discussed. There was a 5% salary adjustment for all authority staffing at that meeting as well, and that does stand approved. WIC celebrated their 50th anniversary and 49 years in Kings County. Very nice celebration and turned out extremely well. The WIC office continues to meet the needs of many, many families in Kings County throughout the decades. At the Kings County Area Public Transit Agency, we welcome Martin Devine from the City of Hanford as a representative on the board of directors. We approved an easement for the new park and ride to allow some electric charging stations. And we also approved the enterprise amendment to the van pool services. There's over 41 van pools run through the Kings County Area Public Transit Agency. And that agreement and amendment will allow the remote working individuals that work 5 days a week, but don't necessarily travel to work 5 days a week. And that agreement will really help that van pool population be able to access in what they call the flexible plan, and will really help adapt the remote work schedules that many businesses are adopting. At the Kings County Government Association of Governments meeting, we also welcomed Martin Devine to that board of commissioners. The unmet transit needs were discussed and accepted. The local transportation funds and state assistant funds. The zero emission bus plan was approved. Caltrans reported that the State Highway 41 project that all seems to have everyone's travel plans messed up, especially for the 4th, should be open by August 2nd. I'm not sure that's government time, but August 2nd is certainly the next milestone that we hope to have 41 opened up. And then that will start, hopefully, the dialogue on getting the Avenel cutoff and other roads repaired that have had to bear a lot of the transportation load of the summer. The San Joaquin Valley Voice trip to Washington, D.C. and Sacramento was also approved, and we'll move forward with that with Supervisor Raboon attending. And we do have a bail bondsman on call, so we'll be able to handle it both either way. So we'll be good. Had the pleasure of addressing the Christian Leaders Network meeting at Koinonia Fellowship on Thursday. Very nice group of individuals doing wonderful things in the community. So thank you very much to that group. Assisted the Lemoore senior citizens with fireworks booth set up with a storage trailer. I talked to them yesterday morning. Sales have been somewhat slow, which is kind of normal for that location, and usually pick up after July 1st. So hopefully they'll be able to get picked up. A little bit more on the graduation and promotion ceremony. Certainly want to extend our thanks to the Hanford Elks Lodge for allowing that to occur. I think there was almost 200 people or a little over 200 people in attendance. And with the air conditioning and everything, it worked out extremely well. And just again, want to congratulate the graduates, the promotional, everyone that received a promotion and staff that put that together, as well as the union. Wonderful job. And then Kathy and I continue to work the Central Valley or Central California 16 and under Babe Ruth tournament here in Hanford. We're doing 2 games a day to help Ryan and Glenda Champlin, who's the tournament director, and they're also commissioners. This is a 5-day tournament. The Hanford team will be on the field today at 7 o'clock if you're looking for something to do. And I think it's going to be against Madera, which probably will line up to be a very good game if you want to come out to the ballpark and watch local athletes ages 13 through 16 play on the Babe Ruth field. It's behind JFK on Babe Ruth Boulevard. So swing by. And I also want to thank the Lemoore Fire Department for assisting the Lemoore High School Band fireworks show last night. They put on a little show, kind of highlight the safe and sane fireworks that they sell, not those that they keep in the back, and kind of show off their products. Turned out very, very well. That was kind of put together somewhat fast, so I want to thank Lemoore Fire Chief David Jones for pulling that together, and thank them for supporting that activity. And again, we were tied up at the ball field, but that's always a nice event to be able to show the public what those fireworks will do and really help those individuals, hopefully with sales. With that, I too want to wish you a very safe and sane. Come back with all your digits. Make sure you came back with all your fingers and toes. The water continues to run pretty fast in the river. I think there was a rescue the other day from individuals. So even if you're a good swimmer, that water is about 65 degrees or so. And on a 100-degree day, that wind chill, water chill will affect you very, very fast. So be careful within and around the water. Make sure life preservers and you take all the precautions you can in the water. I never could swim very good, so I just always went to the bottom. So I just kind of stay out of that water. I don't even like to take a shower. So, and on a hot day, that's pretty tough to do. So just everyone, please be safe, sane, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Supervisor James. Go to board correspondence.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. The board received correspondence from the commanding officer, Naval Air Station, dated June 20th, 2024, regarding a supplemental environmental assessment for the proposed construction at NAS Lemoore. Lastly, the board received correspondence from Tri-County Water Authority dated June 24th regarding the notice of proposed amendment of the groundwater sustainability plan. For upcoming events, Behavioral will host its family member support group tonight, Tuesday, July 2nd from 5:30 to 7:30 at the King's Building here located on our campus. Behavioral Health will host its veteran support group next Tuesday, July 9th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Memorial Hall in Hanford. Public Health will host its Kings County Employee Blood Drive next Thursday, July 11th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That is open to the public as well. The library will host a pot planning event at the Corcoran Branch Library next Monday, July 8th from 1 to 2 p.m. For upcoming agenda items, the following agenda items are for July 16th. Next Tuesday's board meeting has been canceled. Administration has one item regarding chemical waste quarterly update. Ag Department has two items. Assessor has Clerk Recorder has one item regarding resolution for electronic recording secure software. Behavioral Health has an item regarding amendment for family urgent response services. Community Development has one item for the 2020 CDBG grant closeout. Health has one item. Human Resources has one item. Human Services has an item regarding Kings County Homeless Collaborative Annual Report Study Session. Probation has two items regarding Kingsview for treatment services for probation youth, and Public Works has an item regarding the Avenel Cutoff Roadway Improvement Phase 1 project. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we'll move on into closed session as outlined. And again, we will have no meeting on July 9th. And have a nice, safe and sane 4th of July. Thank you.